What if I told you in the next 5 years you need to make a choice? Finances or your health? In this video, I'm going to be sharing a few stories to help with your answer. Well, if you watch videos like these, you already know the importance of having a stable income. So a couple years ago, I knew this guy called Thomas. He was 8 or 9 years older than me. He promised himself and his family that he was going to make a lot of money. When he came to the country, he decided, I want to make more money. So the first thing he did was, okay, let me get education. So he went to university. When you think of rich people, you think of university, correct? He decided to go to university to try and get a degree to get money. And for most people I knew personally went from secondary school to sixth form. They went to university. University holds around 3 million people, all paying from 9 to 18k a year. That is insane. Do you know the amount of revenue that is? Personally, when I think of money, I don't associate it with university. However, he did. So he finished university and he studied economics, and he went to then on to make like 30 to 40k. And that generally is the base for the UK average salary. I think the next thing he decided to do was buy a mortgage. Everyone buys a mortgage. It's the most common thing to be told today is go get your own house. Saved up a lot of money to get up that house. But sadly, shortly after he got his house, then he passed away. We don't know how, but he passed away. I believe it was something like completely random, like you pass away in your sleep. So from my point of view, he did everything right. He went to university, got a job, and got a mortgage. But people close to him, and only people close to him, knew that he was struggling for money, and he was always struggling for money. The thing is, we've been lied to. We've been sold the dream that after you graduate, you get a job, you get a house, and you're good. And you can just plan about your life because you got money coming in. Ultimately, this will just lead you to living paycheck to paycheck. Let's flip the script. Are you living paycheck to paycheck? And don't be embarrassed because 2 out of 3 people in the UK actually live paycheck to paycheck. This means that you have to work every month. If you decided not to work for a month or 2 months or 3 months, you would go bankrupt because you wouldn't be able to pay the bills. It means you need the money that you make every single month. My question to you is, would you want to live your whole life not making any substantial money? So if you're shaking your head and you're not vibing with this journey, you might relate to the health journey. Have you heard of the term health is wealth? It was coined in the 1860s by an American philosopher named Ralph Waldo Emerson. It was one of the most popular quotes of his day. To be honest, till this day, we still say health is wealth. But there is an even better quote that I recently stumbled on when I was reading a book. It was, many spend their health gaining wealth, but then have to gain their wealth to gain their health. Without good health, you can't do anything. So last Christmas, I slapped up my car badly. It was so annoying. You know when you have your tires and you've banged up into like a curb or like another car and your tires just messed up and then you can't actually move the car? That's what happened to me. And essentially, I had to get a call out. So if you guys drive, you will know call-outs are the worst thing ever. Where companies like AA have to come in and basically tow your car. The time they take to come takes forever. You will call them at half past 9, for example, and they will come 11. So you're waiting like nearly an hour and a half to 2 hours. It's insane, just for the call-out itself. As you can see, I definitely don't have positive feelings towards call-outs. Nevertheless, they are lovely people though when they actually come and help you. So I had a guy come in and he basically looked at my car and then it was like, okay, well obviously you're going to need to get it serviced, so I'm going to have to take it to your local garage, which was fine. So then I was like, okay, that's fine. So I basically accompanied him. He had to do like some mad like mechanics to get the wheel off because it was messed up in a very certain type of place. And if the wheel is damaged, that means you can't actually move the car. Because if it was like an engine problem, you've got all 4 wheels, so you can just push the car. But, you can just push the car whether it's just taking off the clutch and then it will just move and roll. But if one of the tires are damaged and you can't replace the tire, it becomes quite problematic. And so he's having to do some gymnastics to try and like get the tire onto the towing car. And while he's doing that, I can just see him struggling. This is just me personally. I pick up on the littlest things. You could be doing something, you could be looking at something. I'll notice like straight away. Maybe that's undiagnosed ACD, who knows? So I ask him, okay, like, mate, I can see you struggling with your legs. Like, is everything okay there? And he's just like, oh yeah, I have injured myself. Oh, don't worry about it. And are you sure, mate? Like, you should get that checked. And he's like, oh yeah, I have. It's actually arthritis. And I'm like, wow, arthritis? That's mad. And this is the exact way that I'm saying it, by the way. So I'm like, wow, arthritis, that's crazy. And then I said to him, mate, like obviously I'm thankful that you came today, but you shouldn't be here. Like, why are you working right now when you have arthritis in both legs? And he's like, mate, to tell you the truth, they won't let me go. If they let me go and sort myself out, they will fire me. Like, I've already had a bit of time off and they will fire me. I just know they will. And I'm like, damn, that sucks. Like, imagine having to work when you're clearly sick. Bear in mind that he was working like 10-hour shifts, and this was a Christmas day. It was raining, so he really didn't need to be here. Now, let that sink in for a minute. Like, let that actually sink in. Christmas day, arthritis, and you're being forced to work because you need the money, because you need to pay the bills, because you're living paycheck to paycheck. So if you take a step back, what is the biggest factor into that guy's ability to earn money? Because it's not skills, it's not experience, it's simply just being healthy. And this is it, the ability to prioritize health over everything else when the world is demanding wealth is a skill in itself. And actually, to be honest, there's a real demand for people that can actually do this skill. So in the profession of personal training, you see so many personal trainers of making six figures, 6-figure agencies where they're, gym coaching. Like, look at Alex Hormozy. He started a gym and now he's able to scale his company to multiple six figures, or even millions. I think it's 100 million that he's worth right now. Don't be deceived. Many people in the fitness industry are making a lot of money. Because health is a privilege and it's invisible to those who have it, and it's only visible to those who do not have it. Question on the table is, which one should we prioritize? Financial health or real health? And the real answer isn't here, and it's also not here, but it's actually more just in the middle. It's about having a balance. It's not about picking one or the other. It's like having your wife and having your mother and saying, who do you love the most? That just makes no sense. You can love them both. You don't have to love one and not love the other. You don't have to be healthy but be broke. But you don't have to be rich and be dying. Think about it like this. On a biological level, everyone has biological imperatives. So at every age, you're supposed to be doing certain things. For example, when you're born, you're supposed to be with your family. You're being taken care of. And all you're really being doing is nurturing your environment. And then take it to when you're a child, you're just learning, constant learning. Whether you're in school, whether you're socializing, whether you're in sports, you're just constantly learning. And then take it into when you're a teen, you're trying to map out your identity. Who actually are you? Like your personality, what you like, what you don't like, your aspirations, your ambitions, your vocation, everything. But this is where it goes crazy, is when you get into your 20s, after the age of 18, there's just a big question mark. We don't know what we're supposed to be doing. What is something you can only do in your prime, in your 20s while you're young? It's not eating, because you're always going to be able to eat. It's not going out with your friends, because you're always going to be able to go with your friends in your 30s, your 40s, your 50s, 60s. And it's definitely not uni. You can go uni at any age, realistically. So then what actually is it? It's building frame, physical frame. It's something you can only do in your 20s, so it makes sense to put a large emphasis on that when you're younger. Socrates, one of the most famous philosophers to ever live, said this: no man has the right to be an amateur in the matter of physical training. It is a shame for a man to grow old without seeing the beauty and strength of which his body is capable. Studies upon studies upon studies show that being healthy when you're younger allows you to be healthy when you're older. Building muscle while you're younger allows you to build muscle on a significant level when you're older. That's why Arnold Schwarzenegger was able to maintain frame from when he was young to when he was old. He was still jacked. You can see this in The Rock. You can see this in so many celebrities that are jacked when in their 20s, and right up until their 40s and their 50s, they still looked jacked. This is something that you wouldn't have heard before. The way I think about it is like this. When you're doing physical health, you improve and you improve and you improve. And let's say you improve to like 200% capacity. As you get older, you're obviously going to decrease and decline in most areas of your life. And that capacity is going to go from 200 all the way down to, let's say, 80. Okay? Now that's more than half a decline of what you originally were. But let's say that you never went to the gym at all, you're at 100% capacity and you have that decline, you're going to be looking at a 40% capacity when you're older. And if you didn't know, between your 30s, your 40s and your 50s is where you're most likely to get ill. It's where people get cancer, it's where people get diabetes. That is the most time that you're most likely to get ill. So you need to be really, really healthy so that when that decline comes, it's not going to be that bad. Whereas if you're normal and you've always been normal, that decline is going to hit you significantly. So you should prioritize health. But this is the thing, you also need to prioritize your finances and your wealth. Wealth is one of the 4 pillars of life. Even money and finances is one of the leading causes of stress and is also one of the leading causes of divorce. You can be healthy, but if you're stuck in the mud all your life, I can tell you right now, when you're older, you're going to be a very grumpy geezer. Think about the engineer who was very clearly sick, but he was forced to work because his finances were not in check. So he couldn't take 5 months off to sort out his health. Would you want to be in that position? You need your finances in check to be satisfied. You genuinely do. I'm not going to buy into the BS of you can be basically broke your entire life but still be happy. I don't believe you can. Humans are very selfish and we all want resources. And if you can't provide resources for your family for your entire life, you tell me you're going to be happy? I'm not buying it. We should all strive to the acquisition of wealth and health. Personally, I'm working on both, whether that's investing into the S&P 500 or the VOO, or whether that's investing into YouTube and the leverage that YouTube can bring, or whether that's investing into a high income skill. But at the same time, I'm always going gym because your health needs to be a priority. Recently, I just started doing stretching and it's made such a massive difference to my joints and stuff like that. But at one point, I was like 100 kg and I was not in good shape. And to be honest, I felt terrible. Like in the mornings, I'd feel terrible because you just feel unusually just big. And to be honest, when you look in the mirror, you don't feel that good. Then I decided to consistently go to the gym and I was able to lose like 20 kg. So now I'm 80 kg, which is amazing. I can see my muscles, I can see my abs, and that's great. And obviously that's going to have a good impact on my ability to make money later down the line. So it all goes hand in hand, really. And to bring this full circle, your health is an investment and your wealth is an investment. It shouldn't be at the expense of both. So that's it for today's video. I just wanted to get it off my mind. It was something close to my heart that I feel like I just needed to say. At the same time, I hope that you enjoyed and got some nuggets from it. Like and subscribe for more videos like this where it's just me talking about my mind and my point of view on certain things. Don't forget to leave a comment because I want to see these comments and be able to reply back to people's fitness journey or people's wealth journey.